We'd like to welcome you to this exciting matchup here today as the wildcard playoffs heat up as these NFC North rivals are about to go at it. It is the Detroit Lions taking on the Minnesota Vikings. As we take a look at the bracket in the NFC the other day, the San Francisco 49ers defeated the New Orleans Saints, so we know they're on to the divisional round. If the Lions win this game, they will face the top-seeded Arizona Cardinals next week, but if the Vikings win, then they will either face the 49ers or the Eagles. And we are ready to kick off this battle between the Lions and the Vikings. These two teams obviously played each other twice, because they're in the same division. They split the regular season series. Who will win the third matchup and advance to the divisional round? Well, we are about to find out, as there's a run to start the game. The Detroit Lions, they barely snuck into the playoffs as they, at one point, had a 3-5 record, but they won their last two games, and a bunch of teams in front of them lost, and they're able to just get into the playoffs. 2nd down and 8. Here's a deep shot down the field, but that is just way overthrown, unable to connect with his receiver right there. Yeah, that's just a really bad throw right there. Way overthrown. Now, early third down situation here for the Minnesota Vikings. 3rd and 8 for the Vikings. They need to get to the 45-yard line for the first down. This pass is complete. He gets a nice block for the first down, running down the sideline, and a 21-yard gain. A good start for the Vikings. Facing some adversity early as they have to deal with a third down situation, but able to connect with his receiver, gets a nice block. He's able to run down the sideline and pick up a first down. Minnesota Vikings, they didn't win the division until last week as they defeated the Chicago Bears and the Packers lost, so that's why they are the 2 seed, as this is a first down inside the 30 with a gain of 16 yards. Minnesota, it was an outside chance they wouldn't make the playoffs going into last week. Obviously very unlikely, but they won. The Packers lost. They win the division, and now they're the 2 seed, and let's see what they can do here in this postseason. Very high expectations. This pass is complete. It is a first down past the 15 and a gain of 15 to the 12-yard line as the Vikings are marching down the field here on this opening drive. And they certainly are a good start to this game for the Vikings. Quarterback almost got sacked, but able to get rid of that football, and it's a first down for the Vikings. First down at the 12-yard line. The pass over the middle is complete, and he will take it in for the touchdown, and the Vikings strike first. Vikings definitely strike first, scoring an opening drive touchdown as he's able to sneak his way in for the score, and a nice opening drive for the Minnesota Vikings. And the extra point is up and good, so the Vikings have a 7-0 lead. Good start for them, as now they will kick it off to the Lions. The Lions are going to get poor field position to start this drive at their own 20-yard line. First down for the Lions. They've been very explosive offensively all season long, especially in the second half of the season. So that play will go for 16 yards. I expect the Lions to have some explosive plays offensively. Let's see if Minnesota can really limit those defensively, because I don't think they're going to completely stop the Lions offense. Pretty safe to say that, but can they limit it? We shall see. His pass will be completed. He gets a nice block, but a nice tackle made shortly after the catch. Good job by the Viking defender. He's able to kind of block his way through a block. Able to make the tackle right there. 2nd down and 4 for the Lions. Going deep, and it is a risky pass, and it gets intercepted. And an early turnover in this one. This is just too risky of a pass, in my opinion, to throw. Should have thrown, I think, to the receiver who was standing at around the 47-yard line on the top right of your screen. Let's see, right there, he was open, but decided to throw a riskier ball further down the field, and he gets intercepted. Let's see if the Vikings can take advantage of this early opportunity in this game to, really take control and make it a 2-score game. This is a nice run past midfield, and that will go for 9 yards. Lions off to a bit of a shaky start in this game. Yeah, they certainly are, but they can rebound. I'm not worried about the Lions just yet. 2nd down and 1. They will run it again, and he will barely get the first down, and he is still going past the 40, and there he goes. He is in the clear. Can they catch him? Inside the 20, to the 10, and finally brought down a pickup of 41 yards. Wow, what a big run, the biggest run of the game, and it belongs to the Minnesota Vikings as he's able to escape from multiple defenders, picking up a first down. And what a play that was from the Minnesota running back right there. Not a good start at all for the Lions as they haven't really been able to stop the Vikings offense and they threw an early interception. 1st and goal. He will fire and it's intercepted! Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness, the Vikings had a chance to make it a 2-score game, but they throw a pick, a huge interception in the red zone. Oh my goodness, the Vikings. That was their chance to really force a lot of pressure on this Lions offense. I'm telling you, that interception, I think it's going to come back to haunt Minnesota. I am telling you. Is now they've given the Lions second life. Still trailing by only 1 score. 1st down, this pass down the field is also intercepted! What is going on in this game? My goodness, we were expecting this to be a high-scoring game, but how about both these defenses covering the receivers pretty well down the field, and another interception, and in the end, the Vikings only lose about 20 yards after the back-to-back interceptions. My goodness, the Lions turned the ball right back over. Are you kidding me? My goodness, this has been a wild game. It is the wild card after all. So that will take us to the end of the first quarter. It's been a wild card game so far between the Lions and the Vikings. Well, we've had 3 turnovers and only 1 touchdown so far. Definitely not what we were expecting as we start the second quarter. This run is a nice run that will go for 6 yards. It's going to be a 3rd down situation coming up for the Vikings. The running back doing a good job so far in this game. Had a big 40-plus yard run on the last drive. Now it's a 3rd down. 3rd down, the run. I don't know if he got it. I think he's going to be about an inch short. And the Vikings are going to have a big decision here to make. Yeah, I would go for it because you only need about an inch. But it's definitely a risk, but I think it's worth it. 4th and inches and gets the 1st down. All he had to do was just cut to the right side. And no defender had an angle on him. He's able to get the 1st down right there. So they're at the 14-yard line now. 1st down. They will run the ball again. This time only getting about a half a yard. So the Lions defense doing a good job right there. Yeah, they certainly are. And nice tackle made by the Lions defense. Lions defense definitely better in this game than they were last week against a very good offensive team, the Green Bay Packers. That was some game, wasn't it? Very high scoring last week. As this pass is complete, he's inside the 5, and he will take it to the 1-inch line. 1st and goal for the Vikings. Big play as they almost got into the end zone. Able to find a receiver over the middle, and it's 1st and goal for the Vikings. It's pretty obvious that this is going to be a run. Don't need to be a genius to figure that out, and the Lions are able to stop him. You know it's coming, but can you stop it? And they were able to. Losing a yard right there. 2nd and goal. The run once again. And losing another yard. Pretty good goal line stand so far here for the Lions defense. Both defenses performing pretty well for the most part in this game so far. Definitely not what I expected. 3rd down. The Lions are bringing pressure. He gets rid of it. End zone. Got it. Touchdown. And the Vikings add on to their lead. Pretty adventurous game so far. Almost able to get to the quarterback. The Lions defense were. But the Vikings throw it into the end zone. And they add on to their lead. Extra point is good, 14-0 in favor of Minnesota, shutting out the Lions so far. A Lions team with a very good offense, scoring 35 points last week, but no points so far here today in the first quarter and a half of this game. See if the Lions can get some offense going. They've already thrown a bunch of interceptions in this game. Don't forget that the Vikings defense, very underrated. They performed pretty well against the Bears last week, only allowing 7 points. They're off to a good start here as there's a good play towards the right side of the field. First down for Detroit. First down. The pass is complete. He will get the first down past midfield, picking up 12 yards as we are now under a minute to go in this first half. Great protection. Receiver cuts back inside, able to catch the ball and pick up the first down. So first down for Detroit as they are trying to get on the scoreboard in this game. Pressure's coming, but able to get rid of it. And it is a first down, picking up 15 yards. The quarterback almost got sacked right there, but able to connect with his receiver as he runs a post and a first down. 44 seconds to go in this first half. Here's a short pass that is complete. And how about the yards after the catch, running down the sideline inside the 15 and brought down at the 14-yard line. And it's going to be first down as the Lions are knocking on the door. And just a short, simple pass, but how about this? He goes untouched all the way to about the 15-yard line. Good play right there for the Lions. First down, 32 seconds to go. Lions trying to get on the board, and he will take it to the 2-yard line, and that will set up first and goal for Detroit. It looks like the Lions offense starting to get into some type of rhythm. Easy for me to say. And it's a first down. First and goal for Detroit. They will run the ball, and he will get in. Touchdown, and the Lions are on the board. Yeah, the Vikings couldn't stop him right here as he completely just bounces off a defender right there, like a pinball machine, and in for the touchdown. 18 seconds to go. It's a one-score game as the extra point goes through the uprights, 14-7. Lions obviously not out of this game yet as we still have a full half of football to play. 14 seconds to go in this first half. See how aggressive the Vikings are here. This pass will be completed. 7 seconds to go, so they might have time for 2 more plays. Yeah, I certainly think that too. And they can throw it over the middle because they have a bunch of timeouts. Quick pass is complete, and they get the timeout in with 1 second left. Brought down at the 47-yard line. And the Lions allowed a completion. I don't think they're going to lose sleep over that play, assuming that they stop the Vikings offense on this play. Going deep, and it is complete, but wrapped up right away, and that will take us to halftime. The Minnesota Vikings were off to a fast start in this game, but the Lions do get on the board, and it's a one-score game at the half. Right, we kick off the second half. The Lions getting the ball. Chance to tie this game as they will start the second half at their own 38-yard line. First down for Detroit, and he will throw it to the running back. Brought down right away and a pick up of 9 yards. Pretty good throw, and it had to be a good throw because there were 2 defenders right there in the area. If it was overthrown, it would have been intercepted, and if it was underthrown, it would have been intercepted. So good throw right there by the Lions quarterback. Lions quarterback was off to a shaky start, but has improved as the game has gone on. Not quite enough for the first down right there, as the Vikings are able to stop the Lions running back. Yeah, good tackle made. A third down situation here for Detroit. 3rd and inches, the run, and he will get the first down, but just barely. Yeah, needed about a half a yard. He got a full yard. The Lions keep this drive alive. Not a lot of big explosive plays, at least compared to what I thought it would be in this game. Both offenses pretty explosive throughout the regular season, but not so far in this game, as that's a first down to the 40-yard line. Well, the playoffs are a different animal. Sometimes teams, play differently. So it's really good to see the Minnesota defense improving, in the playoffs, especially if they want to make a deep playoff run. First down, the pass over the middle, got him in stride, inside the 20, and a pickup of 22 yards, and they're now in the red zone. A big play for the Lions over the middle as you see the receiver able to run by two defenders and able to take it to the 18-yard line. Again, the Lions were down 14-0, but they have a chance here to tie the game. First down, here is the throw. It is complete. Maneuvers around the defender, and he will take it to the 5-yard line with a gain of 12, and that will set up first and goal. You can see the route right there that he runs. Beautiful route. Maneuvers around two defenders and picks up the first down. Can the Lions tie the game? First and goal. He waits. He fires. End zone. Got a touchdown. And an extra point away from tying the game. Big touchdown for the Lions to start the second half. Able to connect with his receiver. And now it's anyone's ball game here in his NFC wildcard round game. Extra point is good, and this game is all tied up. The Lions have now scored 2 unanswered touchdowns to tie the game. And what a game this is to kick off a fun day of playoff Retro Bowl action. Let's see if the Vikings can get some points here. They've allowed 14 in a row, as I just mentioned. As this play will be past midfield, still going, running down the sideline. And he's brought down at the 40-yard line. And the Vikings definitely feels like the pressure has swung to them to try to get some points here before the Lions touch the ball again. Good play to start the drive with a first down, and you see the speedy receiver take it to the 40-yard line. Still first down for Minnesota. He waits. He's got lots of time. So much time. No one rushing him. We are at a standstill. And now he dumps it off. And that play will go for 6 yards. It feels like the most dramatic 6-yard gain you'll ever see. Definitely the longest one. I mean, my goodness. Great protection from the offensive line, but the Lions covering the receivers pretty well down the field. And then there's a throw caught at the 35-yard line, but no yards after the catch. Good open field tackle. Second down and 4. He fires in a little bit low at the feet of his receiver, and it's going to set up a third down situation. Yeah, he was wide open as well, so that's just a missed throw by the quarterback. Third down and 4. This feels like a huge play. He throws, and it is caught for the first down to the 25-yard line, and a gain of 9 yards. That was definitely a big first down for the Minnesota Vikings. So it wasn't a guaranteed field goal if they were in a fourth down situation. And they may have had to go for it on that play, but now we will never know. Great open field tackle right there by the Lions defender. Yeah, definitely a lot of good tackling in the second half. Not as many missed tackles as we saw early in the game from really both these defenses, especially the Lions defense. Second and 10. The throw will be completed inside the 15. And brought down at the 13-yard line with a gain of 12 yards as we will have one more play before the third quarter comes to an end. Good throw over the middle. Tackled right away. First down. This will be the final play of the third quarter. And he will wait. He will fire. And it is caught for the touchdown. And the Vikings take the lead. The Vikings take the lead indeed. Great protection from the offensive line. You see the Vikings receiver able to create separation from the defenders, and he runs it in for the touchdown, and the Vikings retake the lead. Extra point is good, so the Vikings have a 7-point lead as we now head into the fourth quarter. It's anybody's game, but the Vikings definitely have the advantage. All right, we start the fourth quarter. It is crunch time for the Lions. This definitely feels like a must-score drive for Detroit. Starting this drive at their own 36-yard line. First down, the pass is complete, and he will pick up a first down, still running, and he will take it to midfield with a gain of 14 yards. You're bouncing off of a couple defenders right there. Quarterback able to survey the field, throw a safe ball, pick up the first down right there. Here is the toss, and he will run it for 4 yards. Obviously Detroit trying to score on this drive to really keep their season alive, because I think if they don't score on this drive, they're not going to have enough time to come back and tie this game. 2nd down and 6. He will fire, and it is complete. That is the running back who caught the ball, and he picks up the first down with an 8-yard gain. Lions doing a good job marching down the field. Again, I mentioned this earlier, but the Lions were off to a slow start in this game, obviously trailing 14-0, but their offense definitely gone back into rhythm in the second half. First down, the pass over the middle, able to find an open receiver, and he will take it inside the 25 to the 23-yard line as we are now under 2 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. You can feel the nerves. This game on a knife's edge. Everything on the line here in this playoff battle. First down. He fires over the middle, and he's wide open to the 5-yard line, and that will set up 1st and goal for Detroit. They didn't cover the right side of the line of scrimmage. The Vikings decide to blitz, but they leave an open receiver in doing so, and a big 1st down for the Lions. And now they're in prime position. 1st and goal. Here is the toss, and blown up behind the line of scrimmage. He tried to cut to the right side of the field, but he ran out of running room. Not a fan of that play call, because that is the weak side, which means that, it's a shorter distance because they are on the right hash mark. So I would have preferred to see a run to the left on that play. 2nd and goal. Looking, end zone caught, touchdown! And the Lions an extra point away from tying the game. Big touchdown for Detroit. They've been trailing pretty much this entire game, but they've been able to keep up with the Minnesota Vikings. As you see, a beautiful throw to his receiver for the touchdown, and now a huge extra point here to tie the game. The extra point is no good! He missed it to the left! Unbelievable, and the Lions are unable to tie the game. Oh my goodness, the kicker, so costly with that missed extra point. And they're actually not going to try the onside kick. They're going to rely on their defense to try to get a stop here. Can't really blame them, because no one has recovered an onside kick all season long. And the Lions have had a few tackles for loss, as they have one right there. Yeah, the Vikings running game was pretty good in the first half, but haven't really been able to get much going here in the second half. Vikings have only scored 7 points in the second half. 2nd and 11, pressure taken down for the sack. And the Lions trying to force a 3 and out to get the ball back. Oh wow, what a huge sack by the Lions defender right there, going right through the A gap. My goodness, this is a huge play right here. 3rd and super long. 3rd down and 17. They need to get almost to midfield for the 1st down. He fires, and it is caught! Looked like it was going to be intercepted for a second. That's why I got excited. Yeah, that was a very dangerous pass. Oh my goodness, this could have been easily intercepted, but right over the defender's head. But not enough for the 1st down. I don't think the Vikings are going to dare go for it. And how about the Lions? They force a 3 and out. The Vikings do pin them pretty deep, though, in their own territory. So the Lions definitely have a long way to go down the field. They have 43 seconds to go to get into field goal range. And maybe the kicker will have a chance to redeem himself. 1st down. Here is the pass, and it is complete. It's a 1st down. The Lions are the 7 seed. The Vikings are the 2 seed. The Lions are trying to pull off the upset. This will be by far the biggest upset of the playoffs so far. And if the Lions do win this game, they would face the Arizona Cardinals next week. 1st down. He fires, and it's intercepted! And the Vikings will seal the deal. Wow, and that pass severely underthrown, and the Lions quarterback threw 2 interceptions in the first half. He throws another one here, and this one obviously the most costly one of them all. And it's heartbreak for the Lions, and the Vikings are going to survive a very tough battle here against their NFC North rivals. But it looks like the Vikings will get the victory, and they will move on to the divisional round. My goodness, what a game this was. Definitely more defensive than what we expected. But it looks like the Vikings will get the win as they just need to run out this clock. They're having trouble, though, getting yardage here via the running game. But it's not going to matter because the Vikings only need to run one more play. The 2 seed, the NFC North champions, are going to move on to the divisional round as they defeat the Detroit Lions. And this could be the exclamation point on this game inside the 10 and brought down a 24-yard gain to end this one. The Minnesota Vikings are moving on to the divisional round. That they certainly are. And what really won them this game, as you take a look at this beautiful run right here, definitely the biggest run of the second half from the Vikings running back. You see the game over, the Vikings are moving on, but what really won them this game was the Vikings' defense, forcing 3 interceptions on the Lions quarterback, 2 in the first half, and that crucial one on the final possession of the game to officially seal the deal. So we don't know who the Vikings are going to face yet. It will depend on the Packers-Eagles game. The Vikings are either going to face the San Francisco 49ers or the Philadelphia Eagles, so no matter what, it's going to be a tough matchup. It is. The Vikings obviously didn't play the 49ers in the playoffs. They did play the Eagles, and they won that game by a pretty comfortable margin. But that was early in the season when the Philadelphia Eagles were really struggling. They're a much better team now, so definitely will be interesting to see what happens. Hope you guys enjoyed the game. Still more wildcard action to come. But for now, we say so long. The Minnesota Vikings get the win over the Detroit Lions by a score of 21-20.